James Harden needs to be very careful before he gets hit with a RICO. There are stories of people accusing James Harden of putting a hit on them currently going viral on social media. So the son of an NBA legend called Moses Malone, he just did an interview with Dogface. There are stories of people accusing James Harden of putting a hit on them currently going viral on social media. So the son of an NBA legend called Moses Malone, he just did an interview with Dogface where he's breaking down how James Harden put a hit on him because James Harden didn't like a Facebook post. Now, he would also claim that James Harden has put hits on multiple people that he's aware of.
Kellen.
Dog, let me ask you this, right? Because I always see these people that say, oh, James Harden's a basketball player.
So which one is Moses Malone's son? This guy right here? Okay, I wasn't all right. And this is Dogface. No shots. I'm just saying that's his name.
He's not a street. Well, if he's ordered and paid for 2 hits, we know that he paid Blunt, right? He paid these come outside. He sent them outside for me, right? That's one. Now he did this to Adrian Broner, 2, right? He did the same Adrian Broner when Adrian Broner hit him on the dice. He called Big U, paid Big U to go up Adrian Broner.
I did hear something about Adrian Broner getting done dirty by Big U over some dice game type stuff. But I didn't know that James Harden, how random, had anything to do with this.
He's a basketball player, but he crossed over into the street. So now he's a street basketball player. Okay? He's not a civilian, and he's not just a basketball player. He's committing crimes. He's committing crimes, and he's ordering hits. A civilian doesn't order hits.
It's never the people you think. Like, before all this went down with Diddy, I don't know if y'all remember this. I'm not going to say we thought Diddy was puss, but we definitely didn't think he was doing all the stuff he was doing. We definitely think he was involved with as much street activity as he was. Someone to be feared? I figured from yelling, but you never know. It'd be the nerdiest seeming ones. You ever seen James Harden without a beard? Nah, maybe he did.
If I ordered a hit on somebody, I'm not a street no more. My civilian card is gone.
James Harden is flying too close to the sun, and it's gonna backfire at some point. He was already in Big U rolling 60 RICO indictment paperwork where they're claiming that he was being extorted, and people are claiming that he's telling on Big U. So things are starting to backfire because James Harden decided he wanted to turn into a street ninja after making $500 million. Like what's wrong with you? It's just dumb. So apparently this entire beef started with James Harden and this dude because dude made a Facebook post about James Harden charging people $400 to attend a camp.
Some of these situations begin, and I'm talking about the situation with James Harden. Like, how did that start?
Okay, so this is how it started. Just one day, I was at home. I had some parents call me, underprivileged parents that their parents can't pay to go to camps and stuff. And these ladies literally called me crying, saying, my son wants to go to James Harden's camp, but we can't afford it. He's charging $399 for a day and a half. Why didn't he go downtown to do a camp for free for underprivileged kids? I got about 2 or 3 of these calls, right?
James Harden has the right to charge whatever he wants to charge for his camp. If he feels like, my time is worth this, my resources is worth this, right? My expertise is worth this. I want to break even. I have the gym set up. I have several things set up. I want to make a profit. He has a right to make a profit or break even or lose money if he wants to lose money. However, people have a right to critique you, and you don't have a right to try to silence them.
So,
like pew pew silence. That's a real silence.
To the third call, I went on my Facebook post. And I posted his flyer, and I put James Harden. Why aren't you pretty much looking out for underprivileged kids? You're charging $399 for a camp. And there's a football player named Donald Driver that was doing a camp for free. I said, don't you make more money, way more money than Donald Driver? I said, don't become your Hollywood.
And James Harden says, shut up and send somebody around your house. This is crazy, man.
Don't forget where you came from. Pretty much saying, do something for the underprivileged kids
Allegedly.
in the ghetto. Why
I
are you
don't know.
doing a camp with white people in Kingwood for
Right.
$399 when I don't like count people's money, but goddamn, you know what this motherfucker's making. So
Right.
I just made that statement, okay? And maybe about this had about 200 likes, 200 comments. Everybody was in agreement with me. And then I get a call from my then bodyguard. Okay, he goes by Big Miami. And he calls me. He's like, hey, man, what you post on Facebook? I was like, what you mean? I told him. He's like, man, James' bodyguard, Tony, called me, and he said James is pissed off you posted something on Facebook. And I said, are you serious? Like I said, James Harden is mad about I'm not thinking in my mind.
Why are people? What's up with my people, yo? I can hear y'all now. This ain't all black people, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, why is everybody a gangster? Why is that the go-to standard? I mean, I know why. I know why. I know who taught us. I know how we got here. But this is a mentality we got to let go. You got everything in the world. What does it matter what somebody says about you? What does it matter how you run your business practices and what people, seem to think of it? That's their business. Just as you charging whatever you charge is your business. Are you going to silence everyone who has something bad to say about you? You're a celebrity. An athlete, for God's sake. What are you gonna put hits out on everybody who boos you on the opposing bench? I mean, on the opposing crowd. You gonna put hits out?
Why me and James Harden ain't friends on Facebook? Why the does he care about what I'm posting on Facebook? He gets talked about every day. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So he's like, man, whatever it is, man, please take it down, bro. Just.
To be fair, if James Harden would have taken the camp to the hood and charged the kids $300, they would have called him names. So he took the camp to the suburbs and charged them $300, and they still calling him names. Now, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
He needs $300.
That James Harden will see a post criticizing him from Moses Malone II, right? Because they're probably all in the NBA circles. I assume NBA players probably follow him on Facebook, or they're friends with him on Facebook, or NBA legends or NBA scouts, or people who are involved in the NBA in general probably follows a guy named Moses Malone II, right? So that's not out of the realm of possibility. Mm-hmm. Now, James Harden being upset that this dude is critiquing him on Facebook is absurd, bro. If I'm up $200 million, the last thing I'm concerned about is what people on Facebook are saying about me.
Not these dudes.
Come on.
It is more important. Some people's reputation and how they are perceived by the rest of the world is more important than everything, more important than money, more important than your family, more important than your freedom. If you judge by so many people's actions. James Harden wouldn't be the first one. It's disappointing and weird, but I don't know this dude. So, I mean, who knows? It might be par for the course for him.
Bro, listen.
It's laughable,
bro.
yeah.
I'm poor right now. Okay, I'm poor, and I still ain't concerned about what folks gotta say about me, bro. You up 200 M's and you're that concerned. Now, James Harden was so concerned that he had people call, and people were tapping in. And apparently, though, when people tapped in and when people call, that actually convinced this dude to take down his post. Like, it convinced them to remove it.
I'd have put up another
problem should have been solved there, right?
Or not, because James Harden has somebody come around your house.
Apparently not. Apparently, him taking down the post where he's critiquing James Harden was not enough.
I have a friend named Herb Baker. Herb Baker calls me because he's friends with James Harden's cousin, or his brother-in-law, Lennox, that was like married to his sister, James Harden's sister. And he's like, Lennox is telling him, man, you need to talk to your boy Mo. I don't know what they got going on, but James is mad about this Facebook post, and Mo need to chill or something like that. And my boy Herb is like, nah, man, they tripping about that. Like, y'all, we should sit down, let them smoke a blunt with each other, talk this and be over with. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go back to James. He goes back to James and tells James this. James tells that, man, you sound like you sleeping with the enemy. And he told that, this was his exact words. He said, you tell that my money go forever. That's what he said, right? So I'm like, I'm thinking this, all right, cool. Maybe this over with. So Herb's like, man, don't worry about that, man. He'll get over it. But
I'm going to say this, and I hope you listen, bro. If your enemy is a man who's up $500 million,
you in trouble
against you, you probably don't want to sleep good at night, right?
Right.
You probably don't want to sleep too well. You probably want to keep your...
You could do a lot of things with a couple of dollars, especially in the hood, especially if you the people in the hood that they ain't got nothing to lose.
Eyes open. That's a man who could touch you and enact whatever revenge he wants to enact against you.
Easy.
Especially in Houston. But James Harden is like the mayor of Houston. James Harden is not an NBA player like LeBron James who goes home to his family, who does corporate things. No, James Harden is in the trenches with literal killers and gang members while up $500 million. Do you understand how much they worship James Harden in that city? So for you to piss that guy off in that city and move around as if it's all good is crazy. But he was moving around as if it's all good. Right? He goes to the club that night, and while at the club, he gets confronted by one of James Harden's guys.
Pull up to the club. I had a parking spot in the front. As soon as I'm paying the valet person, I turn around, and there's a Blunt. The Blunt, Darian Blunt. He's walking from the club with 15 other guys. Right? Literally 12 to 15 guys. They circle me. They all pull out their guns. They didn't have just regular guns. They had guns with drums, AKs out there, Uzis. I seen the guns. Like they came for me like I was Tony Montana. And I see DJ Eric to the left of me. He's recording. He has his phone out recording the right? I thought he was recording, but it gets better. The first thing Blunt says to me, yeah, you on Facebook talking about James Harden. And I looked at it like, bro, are you serious?
You think Luka Doncic be doing this? Any Serbian or something like that? They pretty gangster. You think Larry Bird ever did that back in the day?
What I said. Are you sure? Yeah, you on Facebook talking about James Harden. You gonna end up dead out here.
Wow.
You gonna end up dead. So he's talking all this. And I'm just looking at Blunt. Now, Blunt, remind you, is 5'9", 350 pounds with a stomach like he's 18 months pregnant, okay?
Wow,
literally, like with twins, dog, with twins, okay? This is how fat he is. I'll punish Blunt. So when I see all them guns, I do like this. And I look at him like that, and I do like this. Like, kind of smirk at him. Like,
you got
know
it.
damn well, if you was out here by yourself, you get your ass whooped.
I mean, that's
how
most.
I looked at him, right? And then that, like, get him. And then, some punched me. Another punched me. They ripped my earrings out
they
my
jumped
ear.
You?
Somebody ran my pockets. They twisted me around and pistol with me. He pulled a gun out like he was about to shoot me. And then
call the police. Oh, yeah, you can't call the police because the hood rules say, this is so ridiculous.
I heard somebody say, no. And then he turned the gun around and hit me in the back of the head, right? Then I fell on the ground.
These are allegations. We don't know.
I fell on the ground, and then somebody kicked me in my stomach. Then the other dude kicked me in my face. All right?
Damn.
While this is going on, James Harden is actually in the club in his section.
Partying. Talking beard. Smiling like nothing happening. You know it's popping. Or maybe, first of all, we don't know if this is actually happened. Moses Malone Jr. could be lying. I don't think so, but he could be lying. If he isn't lying, you got to look at it like this. These people could just be eager to stay in James Harden's good graces. Maybe he just mentioned something about it that he was irritated and dudes was like, we'll take care of it. It's people like that. They just want to be known as, you know what I'm saying? They brought the king someone's head.
So when they get done whooping on him or doing this to him,
they go back and pop
these
bottles.
Dummies go back in the club and then go to James Harden's section.
Of course. It's
Which
done,
is
boss.
Probably why we see the James Harden deposition, right, where they're questioning him about this because, bro, if you pull a gun out on somebody, pistol whip them, beat them up, rob them, you would think they would leave the club. But that shows like how invincible and untouchable they thought they were.
No, they was finished.
They thought they would have been able to do this and get away with it and go back to the club and party and chill and then brag to James Harden about how bad they did him. Because if they thought they was gonna go to jail for this, they would have left. You don't do this to like somebody, then go back in the club and have a good old time. They felt
no, because you're supposed to not snitch. You're supposed to not snitch and protect your criminals. Supposed to not snitch. You're supposed to become a criminal. You're supposed to avenge them and bang all in the club, hit everybody else, have everybody running out screaming, and we can't have nothing. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep it real and stop snitching.
Untouchable. Even if we,
which is equally as stupid, because if you believe that, why would you also go back in the club? You know what I'm saying? What if dude wanted to get busy? Moses Malone Jr., I mean.
Aren't talking about the police. Yo, let's just say this dude was a street dude. You do this to somebody and you stay?
Exactly.
You're not afraid that they might come back and do something?
Nope. They don't care.
But he's my type of guy. He ain't keep it in the streets. No. Immediately after they did this, they went back in the club and started partying with James Harden. That dude picked up the phone
and called the goddamn police
in the world. He called the police.
Yep.
My God is with me. He couldn't do anything. It's 2 verse 15.
What you supposed to do?
Right.
So he's
call
like,
the police.
Man, Mo, just go home. Just go home. Just go home. I'm like, man, I don't got my keys. I don't got my keys because I have my keys in my car. So 5 minutes later, somebody comes and brings my keys and credit cards to me and my ID. Okay. And I tell that John, he's like, bro, all them that did the situation is in James Harden's section right now.
Right now.
I said, what?
Don't worry about it.
I said, all right. I said, give me your phone and go back.
I had to drop it down with them niggas. Don't like that shit.
Again and follow them. Right? He's like, what you about to do? I said, give me your phone because they stole my phone. I said, give me your phone.
Just give me
go back
phone.
in and follow them. So when he goes back in,
I have the power. They got this phone.
Inside, I go up to the security and I tell them, I said, hey, and this is on everything. I said, y'all better go inside and get my jewelry. And you know what they told me, dog? V Live's gonna open with or without you. I said, oh, okay. Bet. I said, bet. So I went into my car, hooked my iCloud up to my car, and I found a number that is a high-level person in Houston, and they directed me what to do. And they were like, we're gonna send every police unit up to V Live right now. I just need you to call 911. So I call 911, and they come up to the club. First 2 cops pull up. I see the security guard in the front dash on the inside. He must have went to go tell Blunt that the police was there, right? But by the time Blunt took the tapes out the back, went through the back door. Well, by the time the police got there, dog, they had like 40 to 50 cars out there. People thought that somebody died. They had both sides of the street. You couldn't get up and down the street. That's how many cop cars were there. They locked everybody in the building. There's a officer named Officer Bettinger. When I'm standing outside, he comes running from the back. He's out of breath. His first thing he says is, I just had to give chase to James Harden. I caught him running out the back door trying to get
he was running
in his sprinter. And I made
you're gonna have a hard time chasing down a world class athlete.
him go back in the club.
Ultimately, the guys who beat him up, they got arrested. James Harden was not arrested that night. However, I think James Harden is being sued for this. There's deposition of James Harden answering questions in regards to this. So all in all, bruh, James Harden got to be careful, bruh. This is like the second or third, maybe the 4th incident we've heard with James Harden's name in some gangster stuff, or James Harden name in some gang stuff.
Don't worry about it. He gonna find out. Tell him, Benzino.
Oh, man. We're failing as a people.